good afternoon and welcome to the KASK Grand Prix this afternoon here from Wellington, Florida. KASK is delighted to be a part with the wonderful lineup for the Winter Equestrian Festival. Their advanced materials that benefit the wearer and enhance performance. Their helmets embody a commitment to innovation, safety and elegance. From cycling to equestrian sports, they've grown into a global leader renowned for unparalleled comfort, attention to detail and their iconic Italian design as well. Proudly made in Bergamo in Italy, their helmets continue to inspire riders worldwide. Thanks to Dodd Technologies presenting our live stream each week as well here from the Winter Equestrian Festival. An industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate and special events as well. Visit them online at doddtechnologies.com. And the live stream each week brought to you in part with our supporting sponsor, two of our live stream with the USEF and US Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network as well. There's a big day ahead once again. Not only do we have Saturday night this week with that MS 150 Classic with a win there for Alex Matz, but also bringing you the $200,000 KASK Grand Prix this afternoon as part of our four-star week here and a penultimate week of competition as part of the Winter Equestrian Festival. But remember, here at Wellington, the shows roll on after that, and then we'll be heading into Spring Series, which also features two big international weeks as well in the 3 stars there too. So lots to look forward to, and let's take a look at what's in store today. Annie Christensen, our course designer here this week, and setting up the course for this 4-star test. Nice long run from 1 to 2. They go to the left-handed, and on the horizon comes a big wall at the sunset at fence 2. To the Lugano plank at 3, long looping lines to start us off here, and then to 4 after that to our sponsors, fence to the KASK Oxa at 4, 1 meter 50 square for that. Up the arena to fence 5, coming on a left turn up to a related line on a 4-stride from a skinny, white skinny, up to the aqua and white, and then to the fan fences at fence 7 after that. 8 sees them into a double, 1-stride double, and that is going to be just over 8 meters in the distance there, and 5 strides up to the net jets vertical at fence 9 after that. 10 sees them back to church and to the towers on the 4 strides or 6-stride distance rather, up there to the triple combination at 11 ABC in the burgundy, and then from there after across the centre it is down to 12 and 13 to complete 7 would be the ideal run down to the finish, and that is what is looking like for our rounds here today. And so we're all set to go into the first round of this our KASK Grand Prix this afternoon. Another very good lineup as the time ticks away to 1 o'clock local time. And from our lineup of riders, let's take a little look at who's featuring, and some of those to really get an eye on here today. Conor Swail, Castellano for the world number 11, and of course winner to the start of the season, Nayel Nassar, who's been on great form here. Hard to look past Nayel, and this time he returns into this Grand Prix as well this afternoon, and so he really made a big impression in 2025. Ben Mayer, the world number 5 this time around, takes another good run. He's already been the winner of the Grand Prix onto week 6 with Ginger Blue. And Charlotte Jacobs, she's shown such great consistency this year as well, will be one that may well play a big part in this afternoon's Grand Prix. Would not be surprised to see her battling it out into the jump off here today as well. And it is then on to Paul O'Shea too. He's been, again, across Florida, featuring well in a whole list of Grand Prix, and may well transfer the talents with Emerald this afternoon. He goes early on into 4th spot as the rider that also is one to get on the radar here too. One who's been very much on the radar here throughout and globally is world number 2, Ken Farrington. Kent and Grace de Mars is the 9-year-old mare, and by Windows, Van der Kosterveld, Conor Tobolensky is for the rider to start things off. 2 massive wins, of course, into the Grand Prix here this season here in Wellington. Then headed across to the Dutch Masters. and has been winning, winning, winning. 1-on-150 Classic, in fact, through the 5-star week with this horse that's now just getting a real good shot with Kent. Horse that's been with him, developing throughout last year through the 2 stars, and now, as he does so well, produced this horse ready to move up into the 4-star sections this season as they have, and into some of the 5 stars as well. Would think he'll be on the button when it comes to time here too. Here to the skinny. And it's 4-stride distance up to the Brainwater fence between the ponds there. Little plank at the Japanese fans. Sitting on the 4 at the moment. Just a little, steadies right up there. Gets the right spot through the triple combination. Here into the final line, I say triple combination to related line to complete, and gets home in 74.65. Time allowed is 76 seconds. Kent Farrington the first to go with Gradamaz. And for the world number 2, just dropping the 1 fence there. Here, I say at the line, come to a little skinny white fence. And then just keeping good control up to the Brainwater fence between the 2 ponds. Here, into the teal double at 8A and B. And just a slight tap on the back bar there just cost them a rail. Very swiftly on track is Skylar Riley now. Skylar with Wolfstone Stables and Sales, Booster 13, the Holsteiner by Barclay for Skylar. Again, this is one of her next generations coming through. 9-year-old here too. Might be a few of those into the field this afternoon, as it's certainly reached the time of season where they'll start to really now find out where they are in their early part of their career. Few weeks into 2025 now. Booster having jumped in some of the 2-star Grand Prix so far this season. Just leaves a toe. Final line comes up well for them, and it is going to be 2 for time as well. It's 77.11, total of 10 there for Skylar Riley, and Booster 13 in the end. Just starts to flatten on a tiny longer shot through that double. And say horse that's really going to develop for the next stage now, just starting to step into this is their early 4 stars. They did some at the tail end of last year. Again, just in the supporting classes, this is coming into their next stage of Grand Prix. Michael Duffy, BE Skyhawk for the G Sport horses. Genevieve Mare for the been riding those this season as well. This is won by Golden Hawk, which was the top 5-star horse ridden by Shane Breen, the BE from Breen Equestrian in the Prix here. And Skyhawk, which is a horse produced from them. They're based at Hickstead back in the UK. Actually, Michael Duffy spent a number of years based with Shane. Straight from the start, keen to not waste any time here. Touch. Duffy again being efficient on the turns. Also in the 9-year-old stakes. Takes the pace right down, as several others have done, into that triple combination. Time-wise should be just okay. There is enough breathing space in there. Just on the floor, 74.19. Michael Duffy and B.E. Skyhawk on the 4 faults this time as well. Paul O'Shea now of Ireland, and Emerald van Voorhoff at the other end of the scale here with a highly experienced international ride. The Belgian-bred horse by Emerald for the Equestrian Farms and Emerald Partners. So Paul been winning across Florida. Keeps good pace around the turn then to get into this double, but again just travels on as a couple have, and the same there. Just a little bend in the line from the 5 to get up to the net jets. Just going to call it there, and so deciding to retire there for Paul O'Shea and Emerald van Voorhoff, 2 or 3 down at that point.
In the order for round 1, receiving the tone, this combination finished 5th in the Medical Challenge last week. Also finishing in the ribbons.
Jessica Springsteen, the Olympic medalist with Cayman de Puerto Z for the Stonehill Farm. Just starting to get again more shots in the big classes with this horse. Actually through the 4-star a couple of weeks ago. Top 5 in the WEF there. Jump round for clear and 4 into the middle of this month. This 10-year-old gelding now really just starting to get some good shots, moving up a gear. Comes out of the corner well. Nice bend in the line up to this skinny. Tidy 4. Just lost a little pace coming in off the corner there, picked it up well again. before she gets steady at the first part. Just cutting into the final fence. 76.25 takes it to one time full as well. It's one down and one time, total of 5 there for Jessica Springsteen and Caitlyn Bole for the US rider. So 4 still the best score at the moment. Just unfortunately, she just didn't get off the ground enough for that first part there. Athletically well through the rest.
Riding for Glenby Farm. He was 7th in the 4-star just a week and a half ago with his other Grand Prix horse. Also finished the 5-star back in late February.
Swiftly into Brian Cournane and the Glenbeigh Farms Castlefield Dream, the gelding by Clinton. Now 14 for the US rider. Doesn't waste time up to the plank. Keep them in motion. Time is just got enough pressure on there that you've got to keep moving. It's a little tighter through the double for them. She leaves a toe there on the marble swans, and so it's just going to be time to add as well. 76.39, like I say, just enough pressure on for time around this course. 4 jumping one time for Captain Brian Cournane and Castlefield Dream this time around.
This week's schedule and a 4th-star competition. This is Spain's Francisco Goyoaga, and today with the run for Sigma Stables in Ocala with the 10-year-old Belgian-bred mare PST Debuts. Spain to Francisco Goyoaga.
Francisco Goyoaga of Spain now. Sigma Stables PSD de Muse, the Belgian-bred mare by Vigo de Suey, the 10-year-old here. Two combinations, part of last night's Nez class coming into this once again as well. That was won last night by Alex Matz and Cashew CR. Coyle second now, Nassar. Top 3 then again on the podium. Good run through the triple combination, still though on the 8 faults for Francisco. Look at the water. And 75.21 on the 8 there for Francisco and PSD de Muse. 7 to the last again, just in their case, just holding little for that 2. You're not quite able with the way that's laid out to really take a run at it, and so you've got to give yourself a little bit of breathing space coming into those final few fences. You can see some just trying to make up some time early on. A little bit of a tighter turn into that teal double, just costing them a rail for Francisco. Sarah Segal now. Ratio Street Ventures Boreal de Foncume is the French-bred mare by Tinker's Boy. Jump to the Nations Cup Grand Prix, back onto week 8. And the score was 8 on that occasion. But they jumped clear in the qualifier that week as well. They've been clear in 4 similar classes in Ocala too this season. A little bit deeper into that vertical works for them. Still clean at the moment, time-wise. Just get a little close to that, but I think we might be able to squeeze that in. All right, time allowed 76, as you can see. Tidies up for the last, 74.83 will give us the first, the clears there with Sarah Segal and Boreal de Foncume to put clear round number 1 on the board after 8 gone in the first round of this $200,000 KASK 4-star Grand Prix this afternoon.
Natalie Dean now already 5 times a winner on this season, and she was part of that U.S. group from a Nations Cup week that took the top call.
Natalie Dean on the winning Nations Cup team here this year. Marigold Sport Horses Con Calma, the Holsteiner by Cascadello for Natalie. Rushing to the wall, but then just starts to make up a bit of ground in the next couple of fences. Let's move up to the rainwater fence. Balanced up for the 5, just a little touch of the net jets. Determinedly risen towards the closing stages now. Time out of 76 should be okay. And strides along at 74.48 to give clear round number 2 for that now for Natalie Dean of the USA. 2 for the US so far, with Natalie Dean and Sarah Segal. Again, not wasting an inch. Lauren Murphy. Lauren with her own Volantos. With the 12-year-old. By Voltaire.
Lauren Murphy now with the Voltanos. Owner rider of the 12-year-old Oldenburg Gelding by Voltaire Prep. 11-11 our next up. 10th in the order, 2 clear so far.
Unfortunately reaches there, but gather themselves back up. Sensibly knowing they're not quite right for that. Comes back again. I think might, yeah, there we go. It's just unfortunately coming out of the corner, not the ideal spot to get back going again. So unfortunately, away for that in-gate. There's going to be elimination there for Lauren Murphy and Valantos. To lead back up.
Four-star Grand Prix winning combination in Ocala this season. So took the tough call. A three-star Grand Prix in the Silent Ridge.
And Brian Murgray now for Major Wager MTM Viva Le Rêve. This long-time partner that's seen him through to World Cup wins a number of occasions through those series for Brian. In the last few weeks as well, here in Florida. Top 10 in the early four-star Grand Prix back here in January. Too much trouble with the time. Backs off hold for that final fence, 74.41, and so we'll come down on the final 7, and it is going to be clear for Brian Murgray and Viva Le Rêve making their return here to Wellington after Grand Prix wins up in Ocala 2.
Clear here in round 1 for the U.S. here, Segal with Gabriel Machado, Natalie Dean with Goyoaga. Now Brian Murgray with the NTM Viva Le Rêve, a 3 penalty free to the first 11. Here round 1 of $200,000 four-star KASK Grand Prix.
Clear so far from that of Sarah Segal, of Brian Murgray and Natalie Dean in the early stages. Gabriel Machado now for the Bay Windsor question with Niles. It's Belgian-bred gelding for Gabriel. Shot to the cask and then get some straight steadies down to take care at the skinny. Unfortunately, jumps through the plank the next. Starting to get a little stronger through that line, has the net jets down. Tries to land short over the towers. Travels down nicely to the last. On a score of 16, 75, 42, 16 for Gabriel Machado and Niles to go into 10th place so far. 3 clears holding at the moment in this $200,000 KASK 4-star Grand Prix.
So we've had 3 who have jumped clear in the first round, coming back, will be coming back in the jump off. Right now, Natalie Dean, Sarah Segal, and Brian Murgray.
And just gets underneath the first part of the teal double. Just tries to square them up, but they're already into the turn. Just carries a rail with them. Jorge Matte Captivia now. And Equine America, It's Me. Now for the Pan Am rider. Representing Chile. Actually finished well in several of the supporting classes in the 4-star level this season. It's going after the wall. Just gets a little keener. Unfortunately, first part takes them deep, and that leaves them out of position for the second. And raising the hand there, Jorge Matte Captivia decided to retire there with It's Me.
Well, next to go for the United States, a familiar face this particular weekend. We hope that Alex Matte's attire and his boots all dried out champagne last night. Which are yours, mate?
Now, last night's winner, that was on Cashew. Now with Junior Cournane, the Toronto World Cup winner, Alex Matz, and with Dorothy Matz's Junior Cannon. You'd be amazed to know is by Cournane. 11-year-old here for Alex, looking to double up on wins. Remember, this is the Grand Prix. Last night was the 150 Championship, sponsored by MS. Tidy through the double. Nicely done so far. Alex moving away, knowing the time is just snug enough. Comes down with confidence now. Just might have to keep coming for making the time allowed. Is it going to be enough? It is, 75.69. And so it gives us the fourth clear. Chance for a double here for Alex Matz and Junior Cournane this time. Fourth clear of this $200,000 KASK Grand Prix here this afternoon. Junior getting plenty of pats. Just so tidy, so compact. Lovely horse to watch. It's a fun ride as well. Going for home run here with home run is Karl Cook. Helen Sidney Osby's mare by Spartacus. Now for the Olympic team silver medalist. Home run starting to get more runs in the last few weeks here in Wellington. He started his season in California. of a partnership into this year. Well, into the FEI. Horse has been with him for a while now, originally from Poland. Two-star Grand Prix together in Thermal, but this is their first four-star Grand Prix. Four on the scorecard, 74.50, just one down for Karl Cook this time, and home run. Puts them into sixth as it stands. Four clears at the moment in Alex Matte, Sarah Segal, and Natalie Dean, and Brian Murgray.
Well, next for Ireland, here is Richie Moloney, running for Equanimity. Richie with Cocoa Beach, Holstein Bear, Casal line.
Just having the skinny down is just in discussion about where they wanted to be at that point. Richie Moloney now. Equanimity's Cocoa Beach, the Holsteiner by Casal, is the 13-year-old for the Irishman. Out of Miss Marple. Finding that a little tighter and working for the line to the net jets. Time should be okay for Richie. He's headed here for Wellington for the closing part of the season and may make it a lucrative one as he turns in clear round number 5. Richie Moloney and Cocoa Beach on the 13-year-old adds to the list.
Venezuela's Luis Fernando Salvo now, and the ride for Leanne Evelyn of Palm Beach with Baroness, the 10-year-old Westphalian mare by Alise Oken for the Paris Olympian. Four-time winner on the circuit this season, also a Grand Prix winner in Thermal in December of last year. Baroness, Venezuela's Luis Fernando Salvo.
Luis Fernando Larrazabal and Baroness had a really good season here this year, probably one of his best so far. Ian Amblin's Westphalian mare by Balus Bellini. Strongly up the leading rider standing so far this year as well. Good move after the plank as well, not to waste time on that turn, but that is also catching couple too, as they don't have acres to get out there and back in terms of time. They're going to be up with the current time allowed. Touch on the way back. Again, we've just got to not rush that final line, but unfortunately just not enough, as they're keen to get to the finish on the 4 into 6th place there at 73.28. It's 4 for Luis Fernando Razabal and Baroness. Comes down to the last, but just long enough over it to have it down.
We welcome Caitlyn Bole to the main international arena. Caitlyn riding Navarre, Roman Gelding, owned by Bayer Farm. Caitlyn will couple on top finishes so far on Florida season, in fourth season. Got a win for 2-star, second and 6th.
Caitlyn Bole now for the Bayard Farm and the Belgian-bred gelding at Navarre. Tied up to the plank. Oh, and that's going to drop. Gets off the ground well through the triple combination. Just coming home on the 4. She's had a really good season too, with 3-star Grand Prix win up in Ocala too, with Brianti, well, in the qualifier for the Grand Prix there, but some nice results in the lead up. And there we'll put them just on the 4 faults at 73.88. Now to Mario Delorier and Costa Quick PS for Aram Apagumium now for the gelding by Contagos for the 11-year-olds. Olympian. So move to the left over the planks again, not waste space on the corner here. Finished well in several good Grand Prix this season through 2-star and then heading upwards. Just unfortunately comes unravelled down that line as it has for several. Get inside the time in 74.36, little tight to the last there to go into 13th place on a total of 8. 8 there for Mario Delorier and Costa Quick PS. Again, it all just starts to roll on together down this line. Just any kind of error, again, just leaves them a little closer onto that last part. It's on to Jacqueline Daly now, and Freaky, a 15-year-old partner by Darko. It's been a really super partnership. Jumped through Nations Cup, Major Leagues together. Really has steadied the ship since then. Good round overall. It is just one down on the 4-fault, 73.79 into 7th spot for Jacqueline Daly. And Freaky this time. To Eve Jobs, Canto Bruno, new ride for her. And the gelding by Canto Blanco, for the Pan Am medalist. They just started together this season. Mix of results between here and competing up at the World Cup in Ocala too. Unfortunately planked down. But I think really building into a very nice partnership. Started off with a number of clears on the card. A little bit of time faults as they just get used to each other. Early days for a combination with a lot of potential. First on the 4, maybe a little close to the time allowed as well here. Might just be all right. There we go, 74.92, and so they're just going to finish on the 4 into 12th place there for Eve Jobs. And Canto Bruno this time. Look here at the last, are looking good. And to Adrienne Sternlicht now, the Starlight Farms at Los Angeles de l'Essence. By Los Angeles, this Westphalian 11-year-old gelding for Adrienne. through the Hampton Classic last year, so far this season. Here's in the odd 4 in the mix. Let's jump through to the 5 stars in the supporting classes, not into the Grand Prix yet this year, but developing well. Been together for a good while now, goes back to a good couple of seasons. Potentially to follow up with another of those 0 scores. I should just be close, but it's going to be enough at 75-74, and will leave us with the 6th of the clears so far with Adrienne Sternlicht and Los Angeles de la Sens. Alex Matte, Richie Moloney, Sarah Segal, Natalie Dean, and Brian Mugray.
Four-star KASK Grand Prix, and that'll be a combination for Brazil. Big winner in Sao Paulo last year, Stephanie Machera. Up next with the Beauchamp Farms 12-year-old Belgian-bred gelding Novak.
Stephanie Machera of Brazil, Beauchamp Farms, Novak de Calvary, gelding by Kotoki, the 12-year-old for Stephanie. 6 clears at this point. Brian Mugray, Natalie Dean, Sarah Segal, Richie Moloney, Alex Matte, and Adrienne Sternlicht. It's deeper under the second part of that related line. Quietly to the planks. Total 12 at 75.36 for Stephanie and Novak de Calvary. Opens up the rein here to get straight for this teal double. Again, another just not quite coming together as they would hope. A little steadily there, but clears the net jets, and we'll complete our first half of this $200,000 KASK 4-star Grand Prix this afternoon. Let's say 6 on the scorecard so far with a 0 score. There we go. Sarah Segal, Bariel de Foncum, Natalie Dean, and Concalma, Brian Mugray, MTM Vive les Rêves. Alex Matte's going for a second win this week with Junior Cannon. Richie Moloney, Cocoa Beach, Adrienne Sternlicht, and Los Angeles de la Sens as the clears so far. Back in a few minutes' time, and we take around about 10-minute break before back into the second half of our 4-star KASK Grand Prix this afternoon. 6 on the board. Will it double up to a dozen? Join us to find out. Back in a few minutes.
cowboy hustle is physically demanding. No doubt you got to be tough. But even more important is your mental fitness. Your brain has to be firing on all cylinders to perform, to be clear, to concentrate, and to focus. I'm a father, a cowboy, a businessman, and a musician, and so much more. I drink Brain Java House Brew, packed with the brain power blend of essential vitamins and minerals my brain needs every day to get it done. Low in natural sugar, low in calories, low in carbohydrates, and low in sodium. It's a great natural and healthy alternative to energy drinks. Brain Java. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
Well, getting set for a second half of this $200,000 KASK Grand Prix this afternoon. Taking a little reflection on the first group as well. 6 of them having come out with the 0 score. Just enough pressure on there for time there as well at 76 seconds as some run a little close. But let's take a look at those that have achieved the perfect score so far. Sarah Segal was the first, Natalie Dean, and then on to Brian Mogray, Alex Matz, Richie Moloney, and Adrienne Sternlicht. Early runs there for the likes of Kent Farrington. Just catching a rail there with Guadamar. Some really interesting early runners here. The now 9-year-olds, bearing in mind, we started the Winter Equestrian Festival back in January, and now well into 3 months of experience on there. Quarter of the year already about to be ticked off, so they're already making good progress through their season. So I'll have a look at a few of those as well. And just a reminder of what we've seen, some good combinations across the Mars with Kent Farrington, well number 2, just very little of a touch there into the teal double. Booster, another of the 9-year-olds, just stretching out there, unfortunately catching a rail for Skylar Riley. Forward run at the teal line for Michael Duffy. Paul O'Shea, Emerald, not quite at the races today, but have been plenty of times. Jessica Springsteen, another one with a close run. Just the first part of the triple combination just stutters down for them. Brian Cournane, Castlefield Dream. Francisco Goyoaga of Spain as well, before we led into the clears. Lauren Murphy surviving well. They were straight back to their feet, balanced up. And then Gabriel Machado of Brazil and Niles. It's double causing troubles for a few as they try and turn up fairly tight to it. Keep an eye at shorter balance distance to that final net jets as well. Jorge Matte Capdevia. And Karl Cook started the season, first real season together with Home Run. Just a little steadier at the style. Luis Fernando Larrazabal of Venezuela and Baroness with Caitlyn Bole and Navarre, another one to fall victim of the teal double. Mario Delorier and Costa Quick PS, horse that have and rider that have moved up this season. Jumped in some of the 5 stars as well. Just got a fraction closer to the first part there, and again it then compounds to the net jets. Jacqueline Daly of Canada also, this time with long-time partner Freaky. Eve Jobs just coming into the turn to the left. Just unfortunately doesn't make the height over the plank. Another one just quietly through. The teal double, Stephanie Maciero there, who is our last of round 1. Those are the clears so far, just a few minutes away from resuming. Still some big pairings to see. Luciana Lossio, last year's 5-star Grand Prix winner with Lady Louise. Kathleen Driscoll, Hidalgo. Ashlee Vogel will start things back off. Tiffany Foster, Battle Cry. Daniel Blumen, capital L. Charlotte Jacobs, Playboy, Niamh McEvoy, Jargon, Ben Mayer, Ginger Blue, Shane Sweetnam, Gilona, Spencer Smith, HHS Seattle. And then on to the final few with Alise Oken and Forest Style, Jordan Coyle and Ashlee Bond and Nightwish to complete the list. Just a couple of minutes on the arena maintenance, and then back underway with this $200,000 KASK Grand Prix. Thanks to KASK again, renewing their partnership here with the Winter Equestrian Festival. And their advanced materials that benefit the wearer and enhance performance. Their helmets embodying a commitment to innovation, safety and elegance. And not just in equestrian sports, but in cycling as well. And they've grown into a global leader renowned for unparalleled comfort, attention to detail and iconic Italian design. back underway, and it is with Ashlee Vogel now and Otis Blue.
Riders in the world. The USA's Ashlee Bond with Otis Blue. And top finishes on the season in the F1 Web Challenge Series and in Grand Prix for the US rider today.
And this is Otis Blue, the gelding by Jaguar Van Pemel for Voquest for Ashlee Vogel this time around.
Ashlee Vogel, first of 22 remaining.
Lovely partnership that they are. For Ashlee, now a reminder, 13 fences on the track, time allowed of 76 seconds. 6 clears at the moment in this $200,000 KASK 4-star Grand Prix. Confident shot at the Logano. Gets them airborne. Through the teal double well now. Also at the net, Jet's looking good. He's playing a little there. Waits for the triple combination and just not quite enough. Just costing them a fence. Coming in on 4. Time's not going to be an issue. It is 1 down, 72.98 for Ashlee Vogel this time, and Otis Blue.
72.98 for Ashlee Vogel and Otis Blue. And countering on in now for Belgium, this is Abdel Said and Calvaro, number 7447.
Abdel Said and Calvaro, the gelding by Cascadello, the 9-year-old for Abdel. Multi 5-star Grand Prix winner here in Wellington before now. Gets going.
Couple top 10 finishes in 5 stars at Bush, Europe. Abdel Calvaro, 7447.
Settling in now with Abdel. Gets out, gets some space over the plank. Can just drop into a nice rhythm now up to this Tierloxa. Gives them breathing room, makes a little bit of a bend as they'll need up to the net jets, just not enough though to make the space. Short in the Oxer in the middle. On the 8 so far for the rider for Belgium. Going to take them home on 8 faults. Time will be all right, 74.52, but 8 there for Abdel Said and Calvaro.
Rider in the order already 6 times a winner on the season between here and Ocala. Brazil's Eduardo Menezes.
back of them through the triple combination. Just dropped the back end down as they came through the middle part. And now to Brazilian Eduardo Menezes and the H5 Sport Horses H5 Alvaro, the Dutch bred stallion by Carvaro FC. He wins in the 5-star this season as well. Coming in on the 4. So will be okay. But again, another one with just the one fence down, 73.70, drops it into top 10. 10th for Eduardo Menezes and H5 Alvaro. Turn back here into the teal double, squares up to it well enough. Unfortunately, just doesn't get across it.
For Luciana Lossio for Brazil, Luciana with Lady Louise Gibbet. There were a couple top 5-star finishes over the last month. There was a 7th in the Nations Cup.
Luciana Lossio now of Brazil. Lady Louise, the 5-star Grand Prix winners here last year. And that Bainbridge Grand Prix, week 9, 2024. Nations Cup appearance this year. Hesitant at the wall. Needs to get back in the groove. Yeah. The engines are firing again. Through the triple combination, doesn't quite make it through there on the 8 now. Back going again, and it's time of 73.56, 2 down this time for Luciana Lossio and Lady Louise. We're out in Chantilly in France last season as well.
So standing for the 3rd place combination from our week 6 Grand Prix here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Kathleen Driscoll with Hidalgo. The U.S. rider takes the ride.
Gets to the 4, just maybe a fraction. Just off that to leave them. But the early problem coming at the wall, but did well to get across that without too much issue. But again, that just breaks the rhythm. Did well to get them back into the groove. Kathleen Driscoll now, Don Stewart's Hidalgo for the US rider with a gelding by Katoki. The wins last season in Traverse City, then took a break for injury back into the full flow here in Wellington this year. Just leaves them back on that final part to have the last of the verticals down. Leaves them just on the 4. Time again not an issue, 73.67. Good round overall, but it is 1 down into 10th place, 2 for Kathleen Driscoll. Combination with Hidalgo going into the top 10. Here through the triple combination. Ansgar Holtgers Juniors now, and this is Pixel K. Last year's Grand Prix winner on week 6. Went very well through the U25 series early stages there. Again, stepped it up a gear another season here in Wellington for the young US rider. On the way in through the triple combination well. Time-wise, looking up to pace on that. Ooh, gets a little deep to the last, but survives it, and 73 is the time. First clear of this second group, Ansgar Holtgers Jr. taking us to clear round number 7.
Tiffany Foster with Battle Cry, owned by Artisan Farms.
Tiffany Foster now of Canada, the Artisan Farms, and Ken Farrington's Battle Cry. The 11-year-old gelding by Vigo de Sway for Tiffany. With the NetJets Grand Prix here last year, the Canadian Olympian. Just on 4 at 75-17, just 1 down for Tiffany Foster and Battle Cry.
Here we have our next the international rider for Brazil, Guilherme Foroni, running Come On BD, Rep BRC. Owned by Bonchon's Farm. Guilherme, 57-56, 7th and 4th star, Nations Cup week. Also a gold medalist from the South American Games in his international career.
To Guilherme Foroni of Brazil was here through the Nations Cup week as well. Bonchon's Farms come on. Just catch the rail on the way through. It's just working so hard to stay off that. Now they start to roll up. So total 12 overall for Guilherme Foroni, and come on, it's 73-45.
Is your jumping and bumping sports Hall of Famer up next, Margie Goldstein-Engle with the Jack of Hearts. Prix winning combination last season. Rider with over 250 Grand Prix wins.
7 clears so far. Now, one of the most experienced and successful is US rider Margie Goldstein-Engle. Gladewin's Farms Jack of Hearts, winner in recent weeks here in Wellington again. Still clean. Stands off and leaves them stuttering into the triple combination. And deciding to retire there for Margie Goldstein-Engle.
So once again, a nice round of applause for eventual Olympian World Championship rider for Team USA, Margie Goldstein-Engle for Team USA. Marvelous career for this Hall of Famer.
Leaving us with the 7 clears at the moment. Adrienne Sternlicht, Alex Matz, Richie Moloney, most recent being Ansgar Holtgers Jr. to add to the list. Daniel Bleeman now for the over-the-top stables of New York. Capital L is the Dutch-bred mare by Cornet Oberlensky, as the 10-year-old for Daniel.
Dutch mare owned by over-the-top stables, riding for Israel. 3-time Olympian, 2nd and 3rd, 2 stars.
Finished top 10 in the recent Live Oak Grand Prix up in Ocala. Just the 4 faults there, jumped into the Nations Cup as well. start to make more appearances. This is their first season together into the FEI. Good time-wise, gonna go close, but should just be enough, and it is going to be enough at 75-28. Daniel Blumen and capital L. We'll see a 0 next to the name of the world number 24, Daniel Blumen, giving us clear round number 8.
That'll take us to the USA's Sloane Coles with Ninja JW Vinamerhuba. Our 8th hit just going clear here for round 1 of the KASK Grand Prix. This is a Grand Prix winning combination in the fall last year in North Carolina, also this year in Ocala.
Sloane Coles for the Ninja group.
The 12-year-old
With Ninja, the Belgian-bred mare by Elvis Terput for the 12-year-old for Sloane. 34th in the order of 45 in the first round. Just a long reach, unfortunately, going into the double. Finished well in the 2-star Grand Prix in Sarasota in the last 2 weeks. Standard triple combination. They've just got shoot forward there. It is going to leave them on the 8 volts at 74.66. 2 down for Sloane Coles this time with Ninja. Yeah, long flight.
Next from Ireland, here is Conor Swail, ranked 11th on the Longy leaderboard worldwide. In 11th place, right?
Through the triple combination. Just pushing away the final bar. Conor Swail, world number 11. Conor Murray's Castorano for the Holsteiner mare by Castellan 3.
Also represented Ireland in the World Cup final back in 2022.
Conor, who's competing out in California, coming for the closing stages, strengthening the lineup for the world's top 20 here as the final couple of weeks here in Wellington. There it is, 76-13, but it's not, because that's one time into ninth place for Conor Swail. Castellano just dropping with the one-time fault there for Conor. Agonisingly close.
As we clear at this point, we had our 6 qualifiers before the midway break. And 2 cents, we took that midway timeout. Ansgar Holtgers Jr., Daniel Blumen are 2 to qualify. Since the drag break here in round 1 are 6-4. Sarah Segal.
Win after win recently through the winter in California for Conor.
Fault-free combinations. We'll see another 10 here for round 1 before we set to the jump off of the $200,000 4-star KASK Grand Prix. KASK is honored to renew its partnership with WEF and be a major sponsor here for 2025. With advanced materials,
Charlotte Jacobs about to head down.
our helmets embody a commitment to innovation, safety, and elegance. From cycling to equestrian sports, KASK has grown into a global leader.
Clear so far 8 of them in this KASK Grand Prix this afternoon.
Proudly made in Bergamo, Italy, KASK helmets continue to inspire riders worldwide.
I don't think, looking down there, that is Charlotte Jacobs. That's Niamh McEvoy.
And so the 8 are clear, just missing our 9th hit there with the Irishman Conor Swail, finishing a 10th of a second over the time allowed at 76.1.
So looks like we're moving on. Niamh McEvoy and the GBBS Internationals jargon started well with podium finish 2 in a similar standard Grand Prix to this. The gelding by Zorocco Blue, rider who rides for the Greg Broderick's tables, the 20-year-old.
And number 56 in the U25 rankings, top up-and-coming rider, and today aboard an 11-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by VDL Zorocco
For
Blue.
Niamh,
GBBS
looking to follow on what's been a good season for her, really building season. Great for her to get exposure into the big classes here for the young Irish lady rider. Grand Prix winner in Sarasota back a week or so ago as well with BP Swifty. Jumping in the Brain Juice U25 series as well. Back to early Feb where they were top 3 in the 4-star Grand Prix. Back onto week 4. It's underneath the double. And just tries to start cutting the corner, and it catches up with them. He's been a terrific rider too on the young horses for Greg Broderick's team. A superb set they produce. Horses heading around the globe. It is on 8 there at 74.80 for Niamh McEvoy this time with Jargon DN.
As well for Niamh McEvoy and GBBS Internationals and Jargon DN.
Comes in a little strongly and unfortunately catches them with the rail.
For Great Britain, Ben riding for Jean Forbes Clark, owner of the Dutch mare. Blood Blue, this is Ginger Blue, 7026.
Now, winner on week 6.
Remember these 9
Many more wins than that in his career. He's a 3-time gold medalist. It is world number 5 for Great Britain, Ben Mayer. Jane Clark's Ginger Blue, but this was a winning combination back then. He won the likes of the Paris Grand Prix before now.
And they're currently, currently 9th in those standings.
Such a lovely partnership that have been such a long time established now. And also on the British team this week in the League of Nations competition at Cairo, then heads back here to where his second home base is. He's to the UK. One away. It's going to be the last one falling. Just on the 4, 73-2-3. Agonising one down. Most home and hosed at that one. Ginger Blue giving it a really good run. Both terrific, superb partnership. Just a touch of the last in the end, looking for the finish. One of the tidiest rounds, but just not quite translating into the 0 score. There we get a little long shot at it. It just leaves it. They just leave a toe on it in the end as they reach for the finish. Another strong one now of the world's top 20, Shane Sweetnam. Shane, the Popish Farm and Seabrook LLC's Gelona AO. Jumping in some super Grand Prix this season through to 5-star. And Shane has been really developing the stars alongside James Cancruz, and it is 74.66 clear there for Shane Sweetnam. Gelona AO will go in the latter part of the order as the 9th clear. Round number 9, Daniel Blumen, Shane Sweetnam in the last part of the order are going to be 2 that are hard to get past. Take us into our final 6. And again, strong coming out of the qualifier earlier on this week as well. Zoe Conter of Belgium. And that's not Zoe Conter, that's Charlotte Jacobs. So she obviously moved down a few spots. Charlotte with the North Stars Playboy JTZ. They had a shoe replaced. Superb performance in the Nations Cup, sealing the win for Team USA back onto week 8. 2 Nations Cups so far this season here in Florida, here in the US, and US having won both. This first appearance since that Nations Cup run. A little bit of a breather before coming in, and of course several readying for next week's big Rolex US Equestrian Open week. Gets a little shorter for Playboy, unfortunately. takes a turn. Not quite their usual round. 12 jumping, 15 for time there for Charlotte Jacobs, and Playboy this time. Final time of 90.02. And now we'll go to Zoe Conter. StepX Stables, Louis Hélène. She also having a good Nations Cup. They were on the podium, not into the first position, but top 3, alongside sister Emily, who then went on to win the Bainbridge Grand Prix. Now for the 11-year-old by Cournane for Zoe, who had such a good run through the Mexican Fall Series as well, and then strongly following that into Wellington this year. Good effort over the skinny. Just about leaves the plank, well, the pole at the net jets. So again, they just coming through there well and just leaves it a little short. Really, again, puts a lot of effort in through the triple combination. Zoe Conter working for this. And it is a good result with 73-20. So Zoe Conter and Louis Hélène will give us number 10. It's Nayel Nassar. Grand Prix winner this season already. Multi-wins, in fact. And this could be another one. Ivory TCS for the Evergate Stables.
In the Airbus $150,000 class, Olympian World Championship rider for Egypt.
Having one of his strongest seasons so far. This pair that were winners on week 10. Challenge Cup there. Chance again here for Nayel. And he's ran one of the fastest in 72.02. shows the way. It's 3 on the bounce with the now 11th clear on the list. Nayel Nassar and Ivory TCS.
Ivory TCS, no faults at 72.02. They will come back to the jump off.
Next rider to join us was the top rider in the Air Mass at meter 50 Classic Series in this season.
So Nayel Nassar joining Zoe Conter and Shane Sweetenham, the most recent of those to go into the clear round list. Another with a very good run through the MS series as well this year. Spencer Smith, Ashton Farms, HHS Seattle for the Irish bred 12-year-old by Pacino. Also for Don Stewart. Top 3 last week in the MS 150 Classic with Talara Colmine for Georgina Bloomberg. It's the pair that won the WEF Challenge Cup on week 8. Still on the clear, time looks good, and it's going to be home in 72.52. Spencer Smith, HHS Seattle. Like I say, we have a strong group towards the close here that came out for our top group in the qualifier as well. Spencer Smith with HHS Seattle makes us into a dozen into the jump off with just the 3 left to go. Spot on through the teal double. Balances back up. Finds a good line through, giving themselves space.
Alise Oken will be next with the United States from High Hopes Farm. He's riding the gelding Forstall. Third in the qualifier to get here today, this afternoon. High Hopes Farm. Fifth in the 5-star. Overstretched so far.
Alise Oken. High Hopes Farms Forestal, horse that we've seen now several times into the 5 stars as well. Been a real step-up season for this horse and a really good, solid season for Alise Oken as well. Skinny dropping. Generally been a very consistent pair. This is the highest score they've had so far. They generally sit on 4s or clears all season. Taking the pace off into the triple combination. On a total of 12 for Alise Oken this time, 75.96, touch inside the time allowed, but unfortunately it's the dozen on the score that puts them out of the reckoning this time around. Jordan Coyle close last night in the MS 150 final. Returns now with 4 gold. The horse has been on the podium for him in the 5-star Grand Prix before now. Tried all the way. Just on 8, 2 down. 73.84. It's 8 there for Jordan Coyle, and for gold, our penultimate combination, 1 to come. 12 clears in the jump off of this $200,000 KASK Grand Prix.
Winner just 2 days ago. Get to the final here. This is Ashlee Bond. Right for Ashlee Bond show jumping.
For Ashlee Bond as the last to go. Best in qualifying once again. Has done that several times through the WEF Challenge Cups this year. There she is. Nightwish is the 9-year-old gelding for Ashlee. The Israeli Olympian. This is one that's been stepping up well. Was on to several good top finishes through the 4-star Nations Cup weeks and even into the 5 stars as well early on in February. Remain at 12 in total in terms of those going through the jump off. 8 will be the score for our final pairing there. 71.38, 8 for Ashlee Bond and Nightwish. Just not coming in as steadily as they would have liked into the double. Balanced it back up for the following, and then here similarly on the turn, just getting underneath that Swan Oxer. There's a horse that's getting more and more mileage this year and looking like it will be one that will have a lot of say in the years to come. So the clears, let's take a look at those. Sarah Segal gave us the first of those with Boreal de Foncombe. Natalie Dean, Con Calma, it's Brian Murgray, MTM Viva la Rêve. It is Alex Matz, last night's winner. Can he do it again? With Junior Cannon, different ride this time. Richie Moloney, Cocoa Beach. Adrienne Sternlicht with Los Angeles de Sens. Ansgar Holtgers Jr. and Pixel K. Daniel Blumen and Capital L. Shane Sweetner will go after that with Gilona AO, Zoe Conter, Louis Ellen. Nayel Nassar, Ivory TCS. Could it be another Grand Prix win this season? We'll see. Spencer Smith has been hovering for a while now. HHS Seattle maybe to pick off a win here this afternoon too. So those are the 12 going into the jump off and looking to bring home this Grand Prix that was won last year by Lily Keenan and Agana de Belliard. And so Who will it be this time around? Those the 12 and penultimate Grand Prix of the season here as part of the Winter Equestrian Festival. We're just going to be around 10 minutes before we go into the jump-off. We'll see you then.
The cowboy hustle is physically demanding. No doubt you gotta be tough. But even more important is your mental fitness. Your brain has to be firing on all cylinders to perform, to be clear, to concentrate, and to focus. I'm a father, a cowboy, a businessman, and a musician, and so much more. I drink Brain Java House Brew, packed with the brain power blend of essential vitamins and minerals my brain needs every day to get it done. Low in natural sugar, low in calories, low in carbohydrates, and low in sodium. It's a great natural and healthy alternative to energy drinks. Brain Java. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
Set to get ready for the final rundown of this $200,000 KASK Grand Prix this afternoon here in Wellington. And we're going to take a look at the course as well, set by Andy Christensen and the shortened course for that jump off. This Fidelity Investments that will take you, Fidelity Investments sponsor graphic that will take you through. Here's take a look under the bridge and into our course animation, and starting over fence 1. Well, that's the less novelty part. From there we go to new fence 15, a vertical, taking us up the arena here to the MS fence in the orange and white. Top end of the arena to fence 9 to the net jets, where we turn back to the church towers at fence 10 from there. Taking away the first part, it is the two remaining at 11B and C into what was the triple combination in the burgundy, and to a new vertical this time. It is actually the KASK fence that was an oxer has now been turned into a vertical, and up the centre to fence 6 between the ponds, and on to our final fence right up the arena as the last on course. So thanks to Fidelity, our presenting sponsor of all our course animations throughout the season here for the Winter Equestrian Festival. Closing stages. One more Grand Prix to decide into the 4-star, and then next week it is our final finale 5-star Grand Prix with the Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Part of the Rolex series, all into the big Saturday night, but still with last Saturday night concluded just less than 24 hours ago. We will have another big run here, because last night it was a win for Alex Matz in the Hermes 150 Championship. This afternoon, who knows, it could be again. He has a chance, but it's one of a dozen into the jump off here. Final few as well as strong ones as well, and that made things a little bit tougher. But starting off with Sarah Segal, Natalie Dean, Brian Mowgray is the early 3. Alex Matz will go 4th with Junior Cannon, and then down to the final few. Take a look there. Shane Sweetnam, Zoe Conter, Nayel Nassar and Spencer Smith. Zoe may be looking to try and claim the Grand Prix here after a really good run in the Nations Cup as well. Her partner having won one is Carlos Aguilera, and sister having won a Grand Prix so far this season, so that would complete the set for the close family-tied group. But it is just after 3 o'clock, as you can see from the Rolex clock there, and the closing stages of our Sunday of week 11, the KASK Grand Prix here this afternoon here in Wellington. Reminder of coming up next week, lots to look forward to there, and it is absolutely stacked with the best, and it'll be featuring 6 of the world's top 10 next week with us into our big 5-star classes. Wednesday afternoon I'll be taking you through WEF Weekly at 5 o'clock usual time there. Tune in for that. Really good lineup. Total list of 5-star riders there that are going to play a big part during the week, coming to join me on the desk there. And then through the week, I will be in the commentary booth throughout the week. That includes on Thursday for the Adequate WEF Challenge Cup, with a lovely series of guests throughout the week as well. And Friday too, into our traditional Friday speed class as well. And then on Saturday, stacked night, we'll be bringing you the pre-game show as well. That's going to be in the run-up to the Rolex US Equestrian Grand Prix. So around about an hour or so before that, we'll be giving you lots of insight on what to expect from the big Grand Prix that night. So make sure you tune in early and well ahead of the start of the Saturday night Grand Prix. And it's also going to be a spectacular in terms of production and entertainment. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a real big champagne cork pop to finish the season here in Wellington, what's been probably one of the strongest so far in terms of sporting competition. So that is all on the agenda next week. So ready yourselves for that. It's going to be coming at you thick and fast, and that is going to be a wonderful week to look forward to close out March and head into spring. So the tractors from Florida Coast Equipment just putting the finishing touches to the arena, and underway in just a few minutes' time. In we go to the jump off then of this $200,000 KASK Grand Prix this afternoon. It is 1 new fence 15, 9 the net jets, and then back to 10. And then from there down the arena to B and C of what was the triple combination. That is then onto the KASK now vertical and completing with the fence with the Brainwater fence down between the ponds there. Boreal de Fontcombe, the first to go into the jump off for the Horatio Street Ventures. And this is going to be Sarah Segal to start off our jump off for this $200,000 KASK Grand Prix. Tidy run to the first as they come tight round on a spin back to this new Hermes vertical added in. Like 10 down there to the net jets, just got beyond it. Out to the church spires. And shorter stride down to the Burgundy double as it is now. New space the last, look like it doesn't down to the final fence. 43.46, and it is 4 there for Sarah Segal and Boreal de Fontcombe as the first to go. Cuts across the KASK fence well, but not to be for them this time. Oh, Natalie Dean. Con Calma for the Marigold Sport Horses of California. Shot at the net jets. The 8 gets just underneath it as they go into the turn already straight out of that double. And they can open up down here, but already on the 4. For those that are chasing a potential lead, and I'm sure it will be a clear that they'll be chasing down eventually, but it is 1 down for Natalie Dean this time with Con Calma, 45.18. Sarah Segal's time at 43.46.
Next to challenge the USA's Brian Mowgray with the 16-year-old West Valley gelding MTM's Yves Lereb owned by Major Wager LLC. Third to go, the better of the 2 efforts so far. Score 4, a time of 43.46 from Sarah Segal.
Brian Mowgray. Major Wagers, MTM Vive le Rêve. Good turn back, makes the move across the MS. Just trying to hold them off running through that. Now gets chasing because they're not so sure yet whether 4 is, or how much 4 is going to be in the reckoning. I mean, 12 of them, so they are in prize money regardless, all of them. The question is what position. And faster time at 40.89 shows a little more of what is available there. And so he's nearly 3 seconds quicker than that of Sarah Segal, but he is also on the 4 there for Brian Mowgray and MTM Vive la Rêve.
$150,000 class. Alex now riding his McGurthy on the
Now Alex Matte's going for the double.
That's
Last
Gilly.
night's winner with KASK CSI4 of that MS Championship final class. Should give him a good boost of confidence too. The Toronto World Cup winner. Comes up well for them at the double, and now he really starts to get going after that. Good spin away from the Burgundy double. Cuts across the cask, and he is going to run close for time. Is it going to be enough in terms of time? It's going to be a good round. That's going to be in the lead regardless, because it's the first that clears. 41.17. Little close in the final run, but leaves them all in the cups, and that's key. 41.17 for Alex Matte's and Junior Cannon to lead the way again. But we are 4 in of the 12 to go in the jump off this afternoon. Richie Moloney, Equanimity Limited's, Equanimity LLC's Cocoa Beach. Long time partnership of 4 years now. Another of the riders on the short list of those who've claimed big 5-star Grand Prix. He's actually a former winner of the American Gold Cup as well. Just gets a little out of balance running down to that net jets. And the full fault is really thinking about the time, because if there's a string of them, this is going to make a big difference in terms of prize money. He's going to be on the 44.16. And so that will put him down into 4th place. Richie Moloney, Cocoa Beach, Alex Matte's on the 0, only one for double clear so far. Junior Cannon, we saw a faster time from Brian Mogray at 40.89 on the 4 faults there as well. Sarah Segal, top 3. Adrienne Sternlicht, Starlight Farms at Los Angeles de la Sens.
Correction, I'm sorry, so Los Angeles de la Sens, my mistake. Adrienne Sternlicht.
Fast start for a rider who knows how to put a fast round together. Multi-World Cup winner, World Championship team gold medalist. Finds a good shot to the net jets. To land here and there, be able to go, not come through there too quickly. Efficiency the key, and this is a good chance for Adrienne Sternlicht to get ahead of Alex Matte's. Should get ahead, and let's take a look. 41.59, no, not quite enough. It's close, but goes to 2nd for Adrienne Sternlicht and Los Angeles Junior Cannon. And Alex Matte still firing out in front at 41.17.
41.17 still the target. Alex Matte, last night's winner, still leading here for $200,000 KASK Grand Prix. Another combination for the
Good run down to the last, just took a little breather there, little check there to the last fence, and just cost them the final fractions in the end to go into 2nd. Ansgar Holtgers Jr., Gudeinhouse's Pixel K. The US teen rider, and team has competed on the youth teams. confidence all the time. Again, one of his strongest seasons so far, but that was what you would hope would be coming from a rider of his age and ability. Now he's getting racing. Time to beat 41.17. Every chance here, and by some margin. 40.04 over a second in front for Ansgar Holtgers Jr. and Pixel K. Get a good picture. And so Alex Matte's into second, Adrienne Sternlicht in third so far. Still got a strong group though yet to fire. 7 gone in the jump off of 12. And you see them trying to come out of that double, land, get turning, not drift too far. There it is, Ansgar Holtgers Jr. at the top. Reminder, 40.04 is his time. Daniel Blumen over the top stables, capital L for his recent Nations Cup ride. New partnership in terms of having competed at FEI. Together for a little while. Turns, lands, goes. Daniel Blumen with a seriously good chance now for a change at the top. Is it going to be enough? And it's 41.16. It's not enough. And by 100th of a second, it goes into second because Alex Matte's is now in third at 41.17. A wider gap of over a second, though, for Ansgar Holtgers Jr. leading on 40.04 with Pixel K. Still, Shane Sweetnam, Zoe Conter, Nayel Nassar, Spencer Smith. Shane Sweetnam first up for the world number 18. Goes. He's not holding anything back now. He's got a really good chance here. Whoa! To the last. Is it going to be not quite enough? 40.52. Shane Sweetnam and Jelona Eo for Ireland going into second. Ansgar Holtgers Jr. leading the pack still.
Ansgar Holtgers Jr. still holding the lead with Pixel K on a time of 40.04. Irishman goes into second.
Here through the Burgundy double. Again, land and then really lights the fire. Not quite enough though. Ansgar Holtgers Jr., Shane Sweetnam, Daniel Blumen, top three so far. Zoe Conter now, 10th of the 12, the Belgian rider who's performed so well, the 26-year-old on the Belgian team that finished on the podium here in Nations Cup back onto week 8. Louis Ellen, the stallion by Cournane for the 11-year-old for the Stefex stables. just runs. The net jets goes down for them. Again, 4 is still very much in the frame. A little steadier to the last, and leaves her with 4 at 41.69. And so goes behind Brian Murgray, goes into 7th place there for Zoe Conter and Louis Ellen. Goes to 6th place to Brian Murgray. The 4 falters 6th and downwards. Top 6, top 5 sees Adrienne Sternlicht in 5th at the moment, with Los Angeles Alex Matz in 4th, Daniel Bloom in 3rd, Shane Sweetenham 2nd, Ansgar Holtgers Jr. still to lead the way. 2 left to go. Grand Prix winner, WEF Challenge Cup winner this season. Nayel Nassar, the Evergate Stables Ivory TCS. Now they can be fast. This Dutch bred mare by Falaise de Muse. Do have it in their locker to pull out. Ooh, tight up to the Hermes vertical. Contained across the church spires here to the Burgundy double. Now lengthening out. One remains. Now Nassar looking for a 2nd Grand Prix win this season. And again, just has to respect the final fence. It'll cost them time. 41.31. And goes clear and into the top 5, into 5th place. Not much between those top 5. Bearing in mind, Ansgar Holtgers Jr. on 40.04. Nayel Nassar there into 5th on 41.31. So 2.5 across the top 5. However, the level we're dealing with, that becomes a little more normal these days. One left to go. Ansgar Holtgers Jr. holding on for potentially his 2nd WEF Grand Prix win. This man going for his 3rd. Spencer Smith and the Ashton Farms HHS Seattle for the Irish bred gelding by Pacino. Final look around.
40.04.
Super talented American on the winning team last year in Dublin. Now he's chasing. 10 to get home. Now he's got to risk a little. Final fence chance for Spencer Smith, and it's going to be 40.13. And so it is going to be into 2nd for Spencer and HHS Seattle. It's a win for Ansgar Holtgers Jr. Here this afternoon with Pixel K at 40.04. Tiniest of fractions making the difference. As you said, at this level, it is so small between the finest of them. And so it is a win for Ansgar Holtgers Jr., 2nd of his WEF Grand Prix wins. Pixel K 40.04. Spencer Smith finishing in second there, 40.13. So it is just a very small margin between those two. And it is Shane Sweetnam finishing in third at 40.52. So those three within the same second. Full spot, Daniel Blumen, 41.16. Top five for Alex Matz at 41.17. So only a hundredth of a difference there. And then down sixth for Nayel Nassar at 41.31. For the rider for Egypt. Seventh, Adrienne Sternlicht on a clear. Final clear there with Los Angeles, and the fastest for Falter. Brian Murgray, MTM Viva le Rêve, will finish in 8th place. Presentation on its way, and our thanks to KASK once again. And with their advanced materials that benefit the wearer and enhance performance. Their helmets embody a commitment to innovation, safety and elegance from cycling to equestrian sports. KASK has grown into a global leader renowned for unparalleled comfort, attention to detail and iconic Italian design, proudly made in Bergamo in Italy, as KASK helmets continue to inspire riders worldwide. Let's take a look at the winning round once again from Ansgar Holtgers Jr. Really good achievement from the American team, and Pixel K. Been a really good season for him so far. Say Super Run 2 in the early stages of the Brain Juice U25 series as well. Nice move, got moving away from the MS. Respected the net jets enough. And then comes in strongly down this line from the Church Spires to the Burgundy double. Little touch on the way in there, and then got away from it quickly, and then really chased, really started to scrub down to the KASK fence, and then they just had to leave enough, a little pull before heading to the final fence there, and puts them home on 40.04. And Ansgar Holtgers Jr. claiming a second WEF Grand Prix, this time the KASK Grand Prix this afternoon here in Florida. And starting off with a presentation for the Martha Jolicoeur Leading Lady Rider Awards. Martha Jolicoeur of Douglas Elliman, proud to sponsor for the 16th year the Leading Lady Awards. And so congratulations being presented to by Martha Jolicoeur and Dr. Stephen Norton, presenting the flowers to Zoe Conter there, best performer across the WEF Challenge Cup and the Grand Prix. Getting set for our main presentation to our top three. So we're getting congratulations from her dad just behind the pillar there. And walking in, our leading three this afternoon, our thanks to KASK once again. Fabio Cardarelli, CEO of KASK America, and Andrea Nanarelli, North American sales manager for KASK, to make the presentation. Third place walking forward in Shane Sweetnam of Ireland, and Jelona Ao for the Popish Farm and Seabrook. So Shade sweep them there, finishing into third. Second place going to Spencer Smith. And the Ashland Farms HHS Seattle. .09 separating first and second. And coming forward, the winner. Congratulations to Ansgar Holtgers Jr. Super season for him now. And coming forward as our winner of the KASK Grand Prix. Congratulations, winner of the KASK Grand Prix, Ansgar Holtgers Jr. And Pixel K for the Good Einhaus team. Like I say, it's been a super season for him in Wellington this year. Finished top 5 as well in the finale Grand Prix for the Brain Juice U25. And now the national anthem of our winning rider. Very well done to Ansgar. Another win on the cards for him, and to our top 3. Leading into our finale week, it is on the horizon, the Rolex US Equestrian Open week next week, getting underway on Wednesday. Join us for that. As I say, WEF Weekly, an all-star lineup for that on Wednesday afternoon. And also throughout the week, we'll be bringing you each of the big 5-star classes. And away we go. Our final week 11 victory gallop, certainly in the international ring, and winner of the KASK Grand Prix, the $200,000 class here this afternoon, out of the Florida sunshine. Leading off the charge, the man who was top of the charge, fastest of them, Ansgar Holtgers Jr. of the USA, and Pixel K. That's it for now. We will be back, as I say, next week. We'll see you then for one big finale.